It's the 4th of May, May the 4th, Star Wars Day. And in that spirit, I've got the perfect build. I'm even wearing my Star Wars shorts. Let's get to it, shall we? So in 2016, 50th anniversary of the original series Star Trek premiere, the Canadian Lego knockoff BlueBrixx, they got the merchandising or the licensing for doing Star Trek related Lego-like product. Thus we have this 1/350 scale version of the USS Enterprise. And there were other things that they also had. I bought the 1/350 scale Polar Lights replica of the Starship Enterprise from the original series. I haven't put it together yet, but this one is a pretty wicked, awesome little kit. It was fun to put together. Came with the plaque. And BlueBrixx had all sorts of other little kits, including this Mirror Universe version of the transporter room. Those back panels glow in the dark, which is kind of cool. They also had Guardian of Forever, and there's a bridge kit that was available that I actually got 3 of so I could do the full circle of the bridge kit, but I haven't had any place to put it, so it's still in storage. Having said that, there wasn't much in the way of anything else. It was a Klingon ship, one piece of the engineering room from the original series, and that was pretty much it. There wasn't a shuttlecraft. What I ended up doing at one point was taking a space shuttle kit from Lego and trying to create a shuttlecraft substitute for it. So these were the nacelles, and all these parts were off of a Lego shuttlecraft kit. So by no stretch of the imagination was this a good substitute, but it was the best that I could do at the time. And then on one of the Facebook groups relating to Star Trek modeling, I think it was, somebody posted something they had got off of a German company. It was a Canadian company. BlueBrixx had it. A German company doing their own version of a knockoff Lego kit got the Star Trek licenses and had a whole bunch of things like Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, all of it. That was called BlueBrixx, BRIXX. And I went and checked out their site, and they had a Class F original series shuttlecraft kit. They just didn't have any in stock. And I went back from time to time, still didn't have any in stock. About 3 years ago, I noticed that there was a button where I could just email me if you ever get this back. And then I forgot about it. At the beginning of March 2024, I got an email saying, hey, we got these back in stock. So, okay, great. Rushed out, immediately went online and ordered it. And they charged me on March 3rd. And then they shipped it on March 11th from Germany, apparently by canoe, because it didn't get here until April 12th or something. Like, you know, the old joke, a slow boat from China? Well, the boats from China are a bit faster than the ones from Germany. I don't even understand that. Any preconceived stereotypes I had about German efficiency shot out the window. I was starting to think that I didn't even know if this thing actually existed anymore. But the package finally arrived. Now, it was a really busy period at work, and I was super kind of stressed out about it, so I didn't do anything with it. I just put it below my desk, left it there for a bit. So now I'm going to open it. So here we have an actual unboxing. Because I haven't gone in yet, I don't know for sure that what I ordered is in there. It could conceivably be something different, because that would be horrible. Because if it took, you know, like 8 weeks, 6 weeks to get to me, God knows what it would be to, what, return it, refund it, replace it? Like, that would be a disaster. So if this thing happens to be a My Little Pony kit or something, effectively, I think I'm screwed. Oh, and by the way, the cost of shipping this kit here from Europe was higher than the cost of the kit. Like, I've ordered things from eBay from Germany that cost practically nothing. The only thing that didn't happen that I was suspicious would is that I didn't get hit with customs fees, because this thing cost some dough. But here we are. We're going to unbox it, and then at a later point I'll put it together. It was also, as near as I could tell, the kit wasn't that big. So when I went to the post office to pick it up, it's a local post office I just walked, I just took this backpack. So all of the munching of the shipping box was me forcing it into this backpack because I didn't want to carry it. I will state that neither DHL Europe nor Canada Post did this. And I wedged it in here pretty good, apparently, because now I'm having problems getting it out. Doesn't help that the backpack doesn't really have anything to grab onto. Pretty sure this is the part of the video I'm just gonna edit out. So yeah, like I said, it did not arrive like this. I did that to get it into the backpack. Lots of paperwork. As a person who worked in courier, I'm always a little surprised by the amount of optimism people have in shipping things with just one little bit of tape. Okay, so the good news is it actually is the Shuttlecraft kit. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like it's not that big of a box. It really easily could have been put in something less big. So that's why I went there with a smaller backpack, because I really wasn't expecting this to be in. Look at that, you could get like 2 or 3 of them in there. BlueBrixx. Yeah, so it was €36.09 for the item and €40 for shipping. Yikes. I have a hard time believing that post-pandemic inflation accounts for much of that. So, here it is. Here's the BlueBrixx Class F TOS Shuttlecraft Galileo kit. Looks a hell of a lot closer, a hell of a lot better. It's actually pretty impressive. It's pretty comparable to the model kit in a lot of respects. The only downside on it is that, and I've seen the full-sized one that they used in the original series at the Houston Space Center, but the actual model it expands out at this part, so it's narrower here and narrower underneath. But that would be really tough to do with any form of Lego product. This is pretty impressively accurate, and there are interiors to it. Class F Shuttlecraft, 7.32 meters. It's funny, it's a German company, and yet it says Class F Shuttlecraft, the original series. I think if you were to come across that in a store, were it in any of the stores back here, you would not realize it's a German kit. So, all right, interesting box in that it is a tray, almost identical in style to Lego, in that the bags are all numbered, and then there's the little booklet. This shouldn't be a very long build. It's only 767 pieces, and the instruction booklet breaks it down into just 3 simple steps. Well, we'll see how simple they are. None of the bags for any of the steps appear to have too many pieces in them. So again, each one of the steps doesn't seem like it's going to be that long to do. There is, however, I presume, a finishing bag. And I say finishing because this seems to have most of the decals and exterior bits to it. We'll see. It is kind of nice that they're retaining the Lego habit of numbering the bags according to the step that they're involved in. We'll see if BlueBrixx is any better at how they've bagged these things, because again, I feel that the first part of step 1 should involve this, and the second part of step 1 should be that, and third and fourth and finishing and whatever. But I suspect on the manufacturing and packing side, these are just done according to size, and you know, this might come from a plant X, plant Y, plant Z, whatever, or machine, and that's probably how they do it. The other thing that's interesting with BlueBrixx is everything came in the box. You could use that as a sorting tray. I don't do sorting trays anymore, but when I first started working in Lego, I did. So if you're still doing that, that's an interesting thing. Without further ado, I'm gonna get going. So here we are done at the first level. It's basically the bottom / boat part of the Shuttlecraft, including the seats, the little engine compartment at the back, one of the consoles. I always thought that was supposed to be a circle like an astrogator, as on the bridge, and then the front bow of it, and coolly enough, the beginnings of the ramp door, which I think is a nice touch. There are pieces under here. There's a red bit and a grill, and it doesn't make any sense for those to have been chosen, seeing as they're neither visible from top nor bottom. But okay, whatever reason there was for doing that, they're in place. And that's the end of the first section. With only those pieces left over, I had to dig out my Lego separator. Don't mention the war! Because the one thing I will say about BlueBrixx, and I'm going to try and avoid German stereotypes on this, but the pieces are very stiff and hard to lock together, and when they do combine, they're ridiculously hard to separate. Like, compared to Lego, it's like the plastic is just not as pliable, not as soft or whatever. The nibs on the top, for example, are like really close to the same size as the holes, to the point where it is a pain to push one into the other and almost impossible to get them apart. And the best example of this is that when you do a bunch of these pieces in a tower, if they're not lined up, it's brutal to try and get them to line up. It's not at all like Lego. I don't know what it is. I'm trying not to assign a stereotype to the fact that these are German. I'm not succeeding, but I'm trying. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it all right. The other thing that I should point out, although they stopped doing it as we go, which is kind of a little annoying, because what's really handy in the beginning is the fact that they tell you, you know, this is a 4x8 piece, this is a 6x10 piece, 1x8, 2x10. That's handy because a lot of times when you're looking for the piece, particularly at the beginning when you've got a lot of similar pieces, you end up having to do the count. And of course, first you have to do is you have to figure out what the count is on this. So that's something I wouldn't mind seeing more of in Lego. The other thing is the bags. Also, thicker plastic, don't like opening. So that was a bit of a pain point as well. The Megablocks Enterprise up there, all of the Megablocks product, which was the Canadian knockoff of Lego, I don't recall any of those having problems fitting together or anything like that. So this is kind of unique to BlueBrixx. So far, it's a pretty cool kit. As with Lego, there was a point where this needed to be assembled and I was a little unsure where it went, and the only reason I knew that it went up as opposed to down is because I'm familiar with the profile of the Shuttlecraft. So you get that with Lego as well, though. Sometimes there's like a certain vagueness in how it goes and you don't really realize you've done something wrong until much later in the build. But yeah, these things, they really don't want to go down. Yeah, here's an example right here of how stiff things are, that I can't get that piece, the second piece, this one to seal up. It wouldn't shift. These are also very, very stiff. Love the fact that we've already got the beginnings of the door coming down. Can already see where the nacelles, the pods on the side are going to be, and yeah, there's an example of it. It's very stiff. Doesn't work and play well with others. And again, I'm trying to avoid the stereotype associated with that. I got a bit confused because everyone keeps mentioning the war. For lack of a better term, the warp nacelles. In the original series, I think it was implied that they weren't warp, but regardless, pretty weird in that, you know, they come, components of them, pre-assembled, pre-bagged, but the black bits you're supposed to discard. I presume that's a garbage can. So, frankly, I don't even know why they would bother. I mean, it's assembled, but it's not assembled because you have to unassemble it to reassemble it, and frankly, that just makes it even more complicated rather than simplified. So, yeah, don't understand what that was about. Weird. Of stage 2. We have both warp nacelles in place. We have the landing strut at the back as well as the back of the shuttlecraft in place. Full console at the front, including the astrogator device. That puts us on to the final stage. technically I'm finished. I say technically because, yeah, there it is. Roof comes off, consoles on the side and the front, swivel chairs. The doors to the back room are supposed to open and close. They're a little sticky, so that's a bit of an issue. The exit hatch opens and closes. There's a stand at the bottom. There's an access panel at the back. I suppose if it was possible to get some lights in there, even those little clear plastic bits might light up, although I doubt it because I think there's actually something solid behind them. The reason why I say technically finished is because there's a 3-piece I'm missing and a flat 3-piece that I have left over. I think I goofed up something somewhere. So I don't know if I'll ever figure out what that is, because presumably it wouldn't have fit if it hadn't have been needed. So I really don't know. I'll have to figure that out, or see if I can figure that out. The nacelles, as I said, came with a whole lot of black pieces that you were actually told to discard. So literally, these are extra pieces that, for the life of me, I can't figure out why they came with it. Like, unnecessary. You know, I mean, except for the usual little not black extra bits, but every black piece there, including this long one at the back, extra piece, intended to be garbage. Go figure. Pretty much as I said before, the problem I found with the BlueBrixx is the real pain to get them to fit together. If they're a little bit off of alignment, it's almost impossible to change that. Plastic is stiffer than Lego plastic, harder to get apart than Lego plastic, and the bags that they stuff came in was also thicker. But other than that, that is more accurate to the screen version of the Shuttlecraft Galileo from the original series than the original AMT model. Like, they finally, Polar Lights finally came out with a more accurate one. The only major issue is the fact that the set piece actually spread out at this point, but I mean, that would be really difficult to do with a Lego kit or anything like a Lego kit. There's a whole lot of detail in here one would not expect from basically a knockoff Lego kit, including, you know, stuff in the engine room. I mean, that's more detailed than I think the series had. So that's ridiculously cool. Very sweet, very sweet. Very happy with that. That's a pretty cool kit. I like it. I have to say, personally, as a massive original series Star Trek fan, that was worth it. Yeah, and it was a fun kit to build. The nacelles were bizarre just because they came mostly pre-assembled, but with black pieces in place of other pieces. I mean, it was... Why? Well, I did do something wrong because that back piece is supposed to be recessed, as you can kind of see clearly right there. So, at some point I'll pull that out and give her a fix if I can figure out what that... I mean, it's possible that I got a flat when I should have got a 3-piece, but I don't think so.
Bloody more anyway!